Yo, it's Trent. Hope everyone's having a good day, good week. Wednesday, hump day. Gotta love it. Halfway there. So, for the Rehab series, part 3 is today, right? And I said yesterday I was going to be talking about making money and getting in trouble. And that's exactly what we're going to be talking about. So, I left off, right, where I was saying where I let the people in my group, my little rehab group, hit the nicotine, right? There was like 8 of us, maybe 10. And we'd mingle with other groups and stuff, but like the people I saw every day for like 2-3 weeks straight were the same like 8 people, right? And I offered them nicotine one day when we were sitting there, and every single person wanted to hit it, and I was hesitant about the youngest kid hitting it because he was young, but he was doing way worse stuff, and he said he was smoking cigarettes. So really, I was like, I may have been a bad person, but I was like, I'm letting the kid hit it, you know? He's been through enough right now. I think he can have some nicotine, but maybe I shouldn't have. Anyways, when that happened, I got an idea, right? Because like I said, I was completely broke. And I've never stopped using nicotine or weed, really. That was the only time I took a little break from weed, but I was still getting shit when I could, but I was completely broke, right? So I'm thinking about the next time I have to get nicotine, and I'm thinking if I want to get a card or anything like that soon, I need money, right? So like I said, there's like 8-10 people in that little group, including me, right? So after everybody hit the nicotine, I got a little idea, and I was like, okay. So the next day when I went there and I was there, we're in our group, right? And after they checked us, we had like 5 minutes before there was a teacher in there. So I was like, let me talk to you guys for a minute. And I was like, so pretty much I have a gas station I go to, and he always sells to me. He's never not sold to me, which is true, right? I don't go there anymore, and I'm not going to call it out, but you know those gas stations, some of those guys don't give a fuck. And since I was a young kid, since I was like the one kid's age in the story, like since I was like 12, 13, that dude's been getting me nicotine. So, you know, what are you going to do? But anyways, since I knew I could get it, I just didn't have money. I was like, hey, you know, if you guys want nicotine, I can get it. I just need money. And they were like, okay, how much? Well, I could get the small poshes for like $11 to $15, right? And they had bigger ones, maybe like this, you know, but I don't think they did. So I just told everybody 20, right? Or maybe I said 25, but I think I told everybody 20, and I'd still make a little bit. And if everybody got one, I'd still be able to get more nicotine and a card, probably. That was my thinking. So I said 20, and everybody except, I think it was two guys I didn't talk to too much. They didn't do it. They didn't want to. They never did nicotine. So that made sense to me. I was like, I got you. But like the other people, you know, when I was doing the pros and cons, I was like, the cons is if I get caught selling shit in a rehab place, that's fucked up, right? But most of these kids, well, most of them are my age. I don't know why I'm saying kids, but we were kids. Most of them are in there for bad shit, you know what I mean? Like, I was in there for the Xans and Coke shit, but other kids were in there for pill stuff. Some other kid was doing Coke too. Like, there was a lot of shit going on, right? So my thinking is it's nicotine, you know what I mean? I'm sure if they got caught and they're in here, they got their nicotine taken away, and, you know, even if they didn't, maybe they need some, you know? I was just thinking it wasn't that big of a deal. If I got caught, it would have been. And I almost did. We'll talk about that. So, like, 7 people agree, right? And I told them, I was like, yeah, only thing is I'm going to need money first just because I'm completely broke. But obviously, I'm not getting, like, discharged or anything. I'll be right back tomorrow, you know? So a couple people had money, and a couple people told me they'd give me stuff tomorrow, right? So I'm like, cool. I'm just going to do it tomorrow because I'll get everybody's cash. I'll get, not orders, but you know what I mean? Like, I'll know what to get, right? So I did all that. I don't want to go through the whole process, but I got the stuff, right? Showed up on, like, that next day when I said I'd have everything. It all went well, and I ended up having, like $60, $65 extra. Maybe not even that much. It might have been, like, $45 to $50, but it was enough, right? It was enough to get nicotine, clearly, for me, and to get a little, one of those, like, I don't know, it wasn't a cart. It was like at the very, very beginning of the Delta shit. But it wasn't even called that. It was just a cart in a gas station. Like, that's literally what it was. So I got it, and it worked a little bit. So I was like, bet, at least now I have weed, you know what I mean? So like I said, I was only there for like 2-3 weeks, right? So that only happened once, but one of the girls asked me again to get nicotine, right? And when she was asking me, the little kid was asking me for nicotine. And when I got it for everybody, I didn't even ask him, I was like, I'll let him hit mine, but he's young, he shouldn't have his own. But he kept mentioning that, like, I promise you, dude, I smoke cigarettes when I'm not here, and I didn't know if he was like being truthful, right, or if he was just saying that to sound cool, because if I was the youngest person there, I'd say whatever I had to too, you know what I mean? Like, I understood both sides of it, but I was really thinking about it, and I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna get this kid something, and if that's what puts him over, if I ruin his life with this little nicotine, then it's on me, and I still had thoughts like, I don't think I should do this. I had a bad feeling about it, but I did it anyways because I was getting one for the girl, and I was just like, you know what, let me just be nice to this kid, right? And I didn't even make him give me any money or anything. I was just like, you know what, like, it was like a little bro situation, I was like, I got you. I felt good, Now let me talk about this. So I learned my lesson. Let me just say that. So 2 or 3 days goes past, right? And I'm in the bathroom one day, and when you go to the bathroom, they send someone with you like 80-90% of the time, but not always. But this time I had a person with me, right? And what would happen is you'd go into the bathroom and they just stand outside the door, right? And I don't know if they'd listen or what the fuck they do. They probably just stood there and looked at their phone, to be honest. But when I'm in there, I'm hitting the nicotine, right? And I'm not thinking too much how there's a person right by the door. So I did something completely stupid. I don't know why the fuck I did this. It was just, I do it now when I'm leaving rooms. So maybe it's like a muscle memory thing. I don't know what it was. But I was leaving the bathroom, right? And I hit it. So when I walked out, I was still blowing a little bit out. I don't know why the fuck I didn't think about it. I went through all of school without barely getting caught, you know what I mean? Like, I only had a few close calls. I don't know how the fuck I fucked it up at a rehab place, So they're like, was that smoke? We need to talk to you, right? And they're like, there's another issue going on. I was like, huh? Because they took me into this little office thing. I think it was actually the nurse's office, but I don't know. They were talking to me, and they said the younger kid's name, right? And I was, my head, in my heart kind of dropped, I was like, oh, did this kid, what happened with him? But I knew I gave him the nicotine, And they were like, we caught him with a vape, and I was like, oh, fuck, like, this is not good. And instantly in my head, I don't know the rules or anything like that, right? When I had the few stints in my life of giving people nicotine, you know what I mean? You get it? Like, I was never worried about it. But when it got brought up in this little rehab office that this young kid, like 3 or 4 years younger than me, that I gave it to, got caught, I was like, oh, fuck. And I knew in my heart he must have told on me, you know what I mean? Because if he got caught and he's here, and there was no way I thought he'd take the blame for it. So they were like, did you give it to him? That's what they asked me. And I thought for sure he told them, right? So I was like, I should just be truthful. But something told me in me, just give it a second, So I was like, no, I didn't. And she was like, oh, okay. What were you using? Were you using weed or nicotine or whatever? And I told them straight up, right? I cut the losses. And I just got this nicotine too. I literally just bought it the day before. I was so excited about it. And I was like, yeah, I have nicotine. I just gave it to her. I just gave it to the lady, kind of trying to deflect from the other topic of the kid having it. But I was just like, yeah, I brought it. It really helps with my anxiety. I put on a whole little show, I was being kind of a dick. Well, I wasn't being a dick to the lady, but the fact I was lying that much, it doesn't make me feel great. But this is also a long time ago. So basically, she's like, all right, you're sure you didn't give this nicotine to this kid or sell it to him or anything like that? You haven't been sharing with people? You guys haven't been talking outside of school, right? Or not school, but I can't remember what they called it, the program. That's what they always called it. They're like, you're not talking to anybody outside the program? And I wasn't, but although I did get 2 girls snaps before I left. And like I said, I saw the one at the party, and the other one I've texted a few times. I don't think I've talked to her. So I'm like freaking out after she lets me leave. I'm like, damn, like, this kid really didn't snitch on me, did he? Like, I really thought, not that it would have been a big of a deal. Like, I wouldn't have been mad at him or been like, try to bully him or anything for it. It's just like, I literally assumed a young kid who's been getting caught in his life, you know what I mean? Like, he's in rehab already, like me. Like, he's been caught. I thought he would be scared if he got caught again, you know what I mean? So he'd just tell on me instantly. That's what I really thought. So I saw him again at the lunch thing, and, you know, that was the first time I saw him, and he's like, yo, they took my nicotine away, you know? And I was like, yeah, they brought me in and were asking me about that, you know, because they caught me. And we were kind of laughing about it, and I was like, but you didn't say anything, did you? You know, because I would have gotten in trouble right there. And he was like, no, I just said that I brought it from home, or my friend gave it to me. I was like, damn, like, damn. And he didn't even think that much of it, you know? But there's a lot of people. Like, if I was in issues, if I was a little kid, an older kid gave me something, I was getting caught, I don't know. I don't think I would have told on the kid, but I don't know if I wouldn't have at that age, you know what I mean? And he was a straight up G, you know what I mean? He was a good person, a good kid, you know what I mean? He didn't say shit. He just took his losses just like me when I had my nicotine getting taken away. It was kind of nice, you know what I mean? Because I was like, damn, at least this kid, like, he's real, you know what I mean? As much as you can be, you know? He's a real homie, you know? And I never forgot that kid. I've never seen him on Instagram. You know, I've seen most of the people that I was there with on Instagram or Snapchat, you know, just because we're in the same, like, I don't know, hour radius. So you see names pop up and mutual friends and shit, you know? And so I've seen him, but I've never seen this kid's name. And I don't think I've looked him up on Instagram or anything, but I don't know. So I really hope, you know, he got through all his issues and substance abuse problems, you know, like I did. Like, I got clean off that shit, so I hope he did too, you know. But the kid was funny. And, yeah, so basically, they had another little talk with me at the end of the day, and they were like, we understand, for you it may just be nicotine, but this is a rehabilitation center. You can't be bringing stuff in. And I understood it completely. Another scary part about that is they were saying it right in front of my mom when she was picking me up. And that stressed me out. But my mom didn't really, I don't know, she was on the phone or something. She wasn't paying too much attention, so I was fine. But overall, after that, all that happened, really, I was just there for like probably another 3 or 4 days. That was right towards the end when I got caught, you know. But for like a week, there was like a week in between from when I gave the everybody one, you know, and then got the girl one and then got caught. There was like a week. That was like a week span. So I don't think there'll be a part 4 because I can just mention it now. The last 3 days, really nothing happened, although there was one thing that I want to talk about, and I never want to throw anybody under the bus, never will. Don't use names, anything like that, but this sticks in my mind, so I got to talk about it. And since I'm not talking about anybody in specific, I'm sure it's fine. But I go to the bathroom another time, right? It wasn't my last day, but it was like my second to last day or 3 days to go, something like that. But I was counting down the days, right? And I was in the school part of it at the end of the day. And I'm like, can I go to the bathroom? And they're like, yeah. There was this like grand piano, right, that I walked past to go to the bathroom, and I'd never seen it before. I like took a different route, or I went down a different way. It was a big hospital, so could have gone anywhere, you know? And you'd occasionally hear people screaming from the inpatient places, you know? And I'm sure it was nothing bad. I mean, maybe. But kids had freakouts like where I was too. So, you know, I never thought anything major of it if I heard yelling. But there was a little alarm that only went off once, and that's if a person was like running around, you know what I mean? And when I come back from the bathroom, there's this little alarm sound. I didn't know what was going on, you know? I'm like, I do not understand this. And this girl comes out of the room, and to this day, I think this is the skinniest person in my life I saw, and I'm really skinny, so I was like, damn, you know? But she was booking it from this, like, from one of the, like, program teacher people, you know? And he's chasing after her, and he's like, come back here. And, dude, she skirts around this corner, right? Doesn't even see the piano, almost nails it, and she, like, goes to avoid it and just falls on the floor. And the teacher dude runs over, and he's like, he started saying her name a bunch of times, so that's all he said. But then he's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And she looks at him, dude, and I shit you not, I swear to God on everything, she just looked up at him and just fucking screamed. Just screamed. Like, not even high-pitched, like the girly screams, where it's like, ah, you know? Like, not even, like, the piercing scream. Just, like, I don't know, like a horror scream, like a blood-curdling scream, like one of those, you know? You know when people are, like, camping and they have the scary stories and they're like, it's a blood-curdling scream. Like, that is the first time I heard where I was like, damn, that's what they mean by that. Because she looked at him, and she didn't look like she was in pain or scared or anything. She just looked at him and fucking let it rip. Just screamed. I was like, God damn. And I went back to the room and just processed it, and we had to be quiet besides going on phones a little bit. So I just let that sink into my brain. I was like, damn, that was wild. But whatever, you know, we all have our moments. But thanks for watching. That's all for the Rehab series, I believe, unless I think of some random stuff later on to add on. But we'll still have more stories this week, of course, every single day. Sub if you want. That'd be the shit. But you don't got it. And I hope everyone's being safe. If you're in the Illinois area, if you live in Illinois or in Florida, let me know. I go to both places. I may be moving down to Florida soon, or it may be another, like, month. I'm not sure. But, either way, I want to make videos with people eventually. So if you ever want to do a video, vlog, whatever, hit me up, you know. I got my Instagram and my like, about me thing, you know. So, thank you. Have a good rest of the week, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.